What's going on? It's your boy Sheeb the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. The Book of Boba Fett episode 4 was freaking lit, I think, at least. And there's a lot to talk about it from that episode. We gotta cover some more stuff from it still ourselves. Let's get into it though. Let's talk about it. Let's get into some of the latest news in Star Wars, including some stuff about the Ahsoka show and release dates for many of the things that we are looking forward to. Let's go. 2022, big year. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already. Big welcome to you if you haven't subscribed yet. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to smash the like as you walk in. Let's get it. Let's go. Alright, so episode 4 of the Book of Boba was freaking hyped, I think. Going back over it, some of the most memorable scenes of the show so far were in this past episode. And as it's digested with me and I've watched it over and over and over again, oh man, was that episode freaking fantastic. And the rest of the way through the series is going to be even better. You know, Ming-Na Wen had talked about how she thought fans were going to look back at the show once it was all finished and have a new appreciation for it. And to me, that's really taking shape and making more and more sense as we've gone through the show. It seems as though the first half of the show is super flashback heavy, kind of bringing us to the point where we can understand how Boba got to this point without knowing every single detail of his story. And even if you do know every single detail of his story, like the full canon breakdown of his character that we're doing on my channel right now, you don't need to know all that, but if you do, it makes even more sense and it makes his character even better. The Boba Fett character is freaking amazing, man. I love what they're doing with it. I love the show so far. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments though. Hope you guys are having a good one. So, the biggest question that's been brought to everyone's attention at the end of this episode 4 of the Book of Boba is Din Djarin, the Mandalorian himself. We heard a couple references to it, and watching back I noticed we actually sort of kind of saw him, not really, but right before Boba Fett finds Fennec Shand, we hear the kind of Mandalorian noise, you know what I'm saying? We hear that noise though, and we get the light from what's probably from the Razor Crest. It's probably Boba Fett and Din Djarin barely missing each other's paths on Tatooine from back in season 1 of The Mandalorian. Now we're having that time filled a little bit as we find out how Boba Fett got to Slave 1, what he did to the Nikto gang. Oh man, what he did to the Nikto speed biker gang. That was freaking epic, man. Watching them get obliterated by him. Wow. I could watch that scene over and over and over again. And heck, something I didn't even talk about in my watch party the other day. That Sarlacc scene was freaking insane, man. I didn't even talk about it, but wow. Like, the way they did it, the fact that the Sarlacc dies from, the sweetest sound in all of Star Wars history. Other than, like, the lightsaber and whatnot, of course. But, oh my god, what a scene. What a way to have that happen. And I love that right before both of those scenes, Boba Fett kind of tells Fennec Shand, there's some business that I need to take care of, some things I gotta, deal with, some unfinished business. And he goes and gets revenge on the two things that kind of screwed his life up in the past 6 years. The Nikto gang that killed his Tusken family and tribe, and of course the Sarlacc that ate him whole. So it was pretty freaking epic. But from all of this, Din Djarin is the biggest question. Is he going to be in the series? We've kind of heard a lot of rumors about it. Whole bunch of stuff throughout everything. Like, all signs are pointing to Din Djarin being in this show, I gotta say. Especially with the music at the end of that episode. Wow. I cannot wait for it. It's setting up to be a grand finale with these last 3 episodes. And it seems as though now we're likely done with the flashbacks. And honestly, if I have to predict where episode 5 is going to go, I think Boba Fett and Fennec are going to be going to Navarro. Now I don't really have any validity behind this. This is purely speculation and what I'm hoping to see. But I think in episode 5, Boba Fett Fennec go to Navarro, talk to Greef Karga, and likely hire the likes of Din Djarin and possibly many of the members of the bounty hunter lineup that we got all the way back in Empire Strikes Back. Whether that's Bosk, Dengar, IG-88, all of these dudes I presume would be within the Bounty Hunters Guild, and it would make a lot of sense that Boba Fett would be able to hire them and be able to hire them through Navarro and Greef Karga. So I'm really hoping to see that. Maybe things have changed on Navarro and it's not so much the, hub for bounty hunters anymore as we saw in Mandalorian Season 2. It's really prospered under Greef Karga and Gina Carano's character. But yeah, man, I think it's definitely possible that's where we're going to be going. At the very least, I do expect we will be seeing Din Djarin, and I think we're going to be seeing him in episode 5, so less than a week away until we get Din Djarin in the Book of Boba Fett, potentially. I cannot wait for it, though. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I know we kind of talked about this in our watch party and in the preview episode for our watch party, but if you guys didn't check those out, man, I do expect Din Djarin is likely going to be in this. We had kind of heard from the Bespin Bulletin that he's going to be flying the new ship. Now, we don't know if this is confirmed, and obviously, we won't be able to know until we do see Din Djarin in the Book of Boba, if he's in the Book of Boba at all. But the rumor is that he is going to be flying an N1 class Naboo-style fighter pilot ship. I don't know. It's the yellow fighter pilot ship that Anakin, as a kid, kind of goes in Phantom Menace. So it's freaking cool. It's a big callback to that. I think it'll be really interesting if they do bring him back. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'm going to pull up the chat right now, actually. I don't think I did yet. How you guys doing, though? And what did you think of the Book of Boba Fett episode 4? I think I liked it more and more as I watched it. And going back to it now, for me, it was a 9 out of 10 overall. It was almost a perfect episode. At first watching through, I didn't know how I felt about most of the episode was flashbacks again, and it was like, oh, Boba and Fennec are just getting Slave One. But watching back makes a lot of sense. It was really cool that we actually got to see all of that, and I'm happy with the product and the fact that these last 3 episodes, there's probably going to be no flashbacks, so it's all killer, no filler from here on out. Alright, checking out the chat. How's it going, Don, Reefer Man, Kylie, Steve Staranka, Tim, my man, and Yogurt as well. And of course, the greatest source of all time. Dude, trust me, bro. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's good. Joey Ebbs says, back half of the episode, Def saved it. Ah, man. For me, I think I gotta agree. Yogurt says, Boba Fett gets buyer's remorse with Nubian fighter. Didn't he, at the end of the episode, we see him hire Black K, and oh man, see Black K ripping off the Trandoshan arm. Whoo! That was hot. I loved it. Joey Up says, glad they showed Boba smoking the bike gang. Dude, whew. You could say that again. That was an understatement. Matthew Cruz, what's up, my guy? Star Wars MCU OG says, a great episode. I concur. It's alive, says Don Clotterman. And oh yes, the Sarlacc is alive indeed. The bikers went down like womp rats. Oh, you could say that again as well. Kylie says, rest in peace to the speed bikers. Yeah, definitely. Heyo to Steve Staranka, my guy. He said, spraying the speed bikers and BK ripping the arm was the savagery we've been hoping for. Yeah, facts, man. Those were definitely 2 of the biggest highlights of the episode. And then, of course, the Sarlacc blowing up with the seismic charge. How cool was that to see? HOMC says, I don't know if we can judge the series in piecemeal. Gonna need to wait till the first series is out in its entirety. No, you're not wrong, and I think that is the whole thing. A lot of people were jumping the gun and basing the whole episode or the whole series off of 1, 2, or 3 episodes the first 3 weeks, and even this 4th week, I'm sure people are still doing that. But wow, the back half of this and everything combined together, this is gonna be one hell of a season. I agree. Reeferman said the last episode took place over several episodes worth of Mando. The timelines are wacky, but understandable if you rewatch it enough. No, it definitely is, and it's kind of confusing because we were trying to figure out for a little bit if Boba Fett had been in the Sarlacc a long time, or if he just spent like 5 or 6 years with the Tuskens. And it seems as though Boba Fett was in the Sarlacc maybe 24 hours, as the sail barge was still on fire and like kind of smoking when he got out of it. So it does seem as though he wasn't in there very long, and he ended up being with the Tuskens for about 5 years, which adds even more emotional impact to the scenes we see and to the kind of backstory and flashbacks that we get throughout the series. Going back a little bit before, earlier in the stream, Aussie Spider-Man says, don't read this comment if you haven't seen episode 4. And I'm sorry, if you clicked on this video and haven't seen episode 4, it's literally says in the thumbnail, episode 4 spoilers. So what are you doing here? But it says, I think he'll be in episode 5 due to his theme being played at the end of episode 4. And if Boba wanted any support, it'd have to be from Mando for sure. Nah, I definitely agree. As far as we know, Mando is one of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy at this time period, so it would only make sense for Boba Fett to be hiring him, as he does have the brains and the muscle. Sheev doesn't want any death sticks. No, of course not. None of those. Episode 4 was my favorite. Didn't find out what happened to the female Tusken. No, we haven't yet. Someone brought that up recently, and I was trying to figure it out too, because I don't think we saw her dead, and maybe it's just implied she died with them, but I feel like she's such a badass. She's got to be alive, right? She's got to be. Lavis Blackman has a great cameo in this episode. That's a good one, Reefer Man. That was a really good one, but yeah, he did. It was epic. I love seeing Lavis. Okay, so with that all being said, there's actually a lot of little bits of news to get through today. Nothing big at all, really. I mean, there might be some big stuff if you haven't been kind of caught up with everything. I'm just kind of doing some refreshers here as well, but we actually have a lot of like release date kind of stuff to talk about here. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that in the latest Star Wars Insider, we found out that Bad Batch is listed to be coming out in spring of 2022. Now, initially, my first reaction, as people told me this in my preview stream from just a couple nights ago, I friggin' broke. Literally on stream, they broke sheep. I was speechless. My first thoughts were Kenobi's gonna get pushed back. It's not coming out yet. Kenobi's not coming out yet. We're gonna have 16 weeks of the Bad Batch. No, and I was freaking out, right? I literally was speechless on stream. And then we kind of get some more rumors out there, and one of our favorite dudes here on the channel, Jordan Mason, actually spoke about this kind of release date issue here, and he actually said that it's possible Kenobi and Bad Batch will overlap. And this kind of makes sense, as Bad Batch is going to be 16 episodes most likely, which is 16 weeks, as I said before, unless they double up an episode here or there. We also had heard that Moon Knight was going to be doubling up an episode, so that there would be room for the Bad Batch and apparently for Kenobi as well. I thought Kenobi was going to get pushed back though, and it seems as though Jordan Mason is saying there's going to be overlap, and most likely Kenobi will be premiering at least on May the 4th, and that is still kind of the plan. And that was initially our thoughts here. I was really hoping Kenobi would come out May 4th, or at least the finale would or something, but it does bring to question how this is going to work, and how it's going to work in the future with Marvel and Star Wars putting out content left and right, and Disney having their own kind of content coming out on Disney Plus as well. Honestly, I think the best course of action is for Marvel and Star Wars to both have their own respective days for releases, and obviously movies would probably still be like Friday night or Thursday night as well. So you got to make room for all of that, but I think it's easily possible. CW kind of did something similar, as Josh from the Den of Nerds pointed out, and it worked really well for them, and it could easily work even better with Disney Plus, a more successful service than CW ever will be, and Disney in general, and with the properties of Star Wars and Marvel. Like, come on, it just makes sense. So with all that being said, I want to bring up the possibility of something I kind of talked about with Star Wars Meg. And with all of these rumors going around about the release dates making us crazy, not knowing what the heck is coming out when, because Lucasfilm won't give us any answers. I think it's possible Kenobi could just be released all in one day. What do you think of that? I think it's possible Kenobi could be, the entire show of Kenobi, all 6 episodes could be released May 4th. Disney Plus has never really been, they've never really done that. They really like living off the week-to-week hype, and it works really, really well for them as their properties kind of are big enough to carry them and do that. Other things, and Netflix, they, usually will release entire seasons all at once. And while Disney Plus has never done that, I don't think it's out of the question that they could. With Kenobi being such a hyped up series, something that everybody's been looking forward to, I wouldn't put it past them to release the whole dang thing on May 4th and have fans just binging through it the entire dang week and for months and months on end, because gosh dang it, this show is about to be too dang hyped. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor are coming back. It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. So I think it's possible, but what do you guys think in the chat? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Do you think we could get the entire show of Kenobi released on May 4th? Let me know. Let's put it into a poll. Will Kenobi be released all at once? Or weekly? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the poll. All right, let me know in the chat or the poll, or both preferably. But let me know in the chat. Do you think that Kenobi will release weekly as all the other Star Wars content has, or do you think it's possible we could get it all at once? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the poll. Let's check out what you guys are saying. Tim says too much money. That's the thing, though. I think honestly the money would come from watch hours in general, and obviously the hype. You build more hype week to week, but I don't feel like they need to build hype for Kenobi. I mean, sure they do, and they definitely need to release some trailers. Things are gonna really kick up pretty soon, as we're really pretty close to all of this stuff coming out actually. But I mean, hear me out here, because they could easily just, as much as releasing it all at once, like, kills the hype, or doesn't let it breathe with the week to week releases. There's so much hype for this show already. Like, people that were prequel fans, people that just love the Obi-Wan and Anakin characters. There are so many people that actually, like, that's their favorite parts of the prequels, or there's just so many prequel fans in general. I think, honestly, prequel fans are some of the strongest, most vocal people in the Star Wars fandom. So I think, honestly, if you release it all at once, it's going to have just as much hype as if you released it week to week. Obviously, there could be more build up with the week to week, but I'm just hopeful. I think it would be dope if they did something like that, where they dropped it all at once on May 4th, especially with the way that the past couple of May 4ths have gone. I don't think it's actually going to happen, and 86% of you guys say that it's going to be coming out weekly right now, so it's probably not going to, but one can hope. Alright, so let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. No freaking way, says Steve Starenka. Tim says no. Steve says that is too much good news. Overlap. Yes. Honestly, that is good news, because as much fans maybe aren't into the Bad Batch, there are a decent amount that really do love it. And those of us that do love the Bad Batch, and oh god, we're gonna love Kenobi as well. We're getting double the content at once, and I felt like that would never happen. So it's pretty good. that's even a possibility. And going forward with all the content we're getting, it's cool to see that, you know, they're down to overlap and do double up episodes and stuff. So I'm loving what they're doing over there at Disney. Call me a shill, I don't care, but I'm not. They're just doing good stuff here. Steve says Disney equals only money. Yeah, they're they're like Watto. They want the money. No, Sheev, they want to build that hype. Nah, you're right. Of course they want to build that hype. Yogurt says they can release all at once. Viewers can choose what they watch. Yeah, no, you're right. And I feel like it does. Like Book of Boba Fett. There's gonna be way more people starting to tune in towards the end. Even my mom. Like, I'm gonna probably get my mom to sit down and binge watch all of them when there's 2 episodes that haven't. Like, after this next week, there will be 5 episodes out. And I'll be like, all right, Mom, sit down. These next 5 hours, you're going to have your mind blown. So I get that. And I feel like for Kenobi, it will probably be weekly where, you know, by the end of the series, like, everyone's going to know a whole bunch of stuff that's leading up to the setup of the finale of Kenobi, right? And then everybody's going to binge watch it again leading up to it. And people are going to start hopping on the hype train of Kenobi. And oh my goodness, it's going to just blow up at that point. HOMC says Disney Plus subs will leave as soon as Kenobi drops. If they release it all at once, it would be dope AF, but too much money would be lost. Okay, but when you really think about it, Kenobi is only going to be 6 episodes anyway, which would be like a month and a half worth of content. Straight up. It is. Like, if you're doing weekly, that's 6 weeks. There's about 4 weeks in a month. It's about a month and a half of content. That means people are paying $16 to see all of Kenobi. Going off of that kind of ideal and mindset. Yeah, no, $16 is a lot from millions of people, I guess. Alright, whatever. It's probably coming out weekly. It's gonna suck. They don't do anything for fans. I'm just playing, but you know how it is. Reefer Man says I could see a 2-hour premiere of Kenobi. Oh please, oh man, that'd be insane. I don't know if they'll do that, but that would be insane. That'd be cool if they doubled up on the first two Kenobi episodes. They should have done that with the Book of Boba, to be honest. The hype of dropping it all at once could mean pro-con. It could be closer than we think. Yeah, and that is very, very hyped as well. Dropping it all at once. That'd be pretty wild. Bad Batch did a great premiere. Boba was okay. I hope Kenobi takes the Bad Batch route with a double-length bombshell. Yeah, me too. It'd be cool if both Bad Batch and Kenobi drop on May 4th. Or like, you know, the first episodes. That would be really servicing the fans as well. Speaking of the Bad Batch, we're doing a Funko Pop giveaway at 500 subscribers, which is less than 70 subscribers away at this point. So if you guys are interested in winning one of those Funkos, we're giving away all 5 members of the Bad Batch or a Boba Fett pop. Your choice. But you have a chance of winning one of those 5 Bad Batch members or a Boba Fett Funko Pop by joining the Discord in the description of the video below. So if you guys want a chance at winning one of those Funkos, make sure to join the Discord. Much love. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Much appreciated to you if you are. Big welcome to y'all if y'all new. Alright, give me that record, says Ducky Momo 8. Join the Discord. I know you already did, but do it. Reefer Man says, I never want a media dump of Star Wars. I need the weekly fix. I feel you. The weekly fix is good, but then, like, I don't know, man. As soon as I get the next newest episode, I'm just like, you know, oh, give me the next episode already. I need it. Ducky Momo says Bad Batch did a great premiere. Oh yeah, I've read that one. Steve Starenka said, okay, now I'm convinced. Double up on May 4th, and the rest of the episodes come out May 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and it's Kenobi week. Would be huge, dude. That'd be wild. I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, they could and just be like, how OG would Disney be to just be like, bet we're starting with Monday, episode 1 of Kenobi, Tuesday, episode 2 of Kenobi, Wednesday, episode 3 of Kenobi, and then all the way to Saturday. And then Saturday is like the 6th episode. They drop the finale. And they're like, yeah, we're God. We're going to rest on Sunday. It's like, oh, damn. Y'all are God. No, I'm just playing. Matthew Cruz says, people will complain about less small issues than they have with some shows if it's released all at once. No, probably, because I no, you're definitely right, Matthew Cruz. That would definitely make people complain less, because they're getting all the episodes at once, to where like they're not gonna stop after one episode. Tweet, this is the dumbest show of all time. One episode done. Watch the second one. It's still not okay. Episode 3. It's okay. It's getting decent. Like, no one's gonna do that. Whereas like the weekly allows people to be like, this show sucks. That was the dumbest Tuscan thing I've ever seen. Matthew Cruz says, like the fillers won't feel like a filler, but more development when you get to digest it all at once. That's what I'm saying, man. Matthew Cruz, I'm having a hard time reading your comments right now just because my chat thing is so small, but you're spitting facts, my guy. You're spitting facts. All right, on to the next bit of news here, because we still do have a few more things to get through. There's actually a listing out for the Ahsoka show. This basically is dated 12/30/21, so right before the beginning of the year, and it's an official like listing and cast kind of thing for the Ahsoka show. So it says here that it's from Huckleberry Industries Incorporated, of course, which is the alias for the Mandalorian kind of stuff. And of course, shooting at Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles. Man, I would love to go there and see the set. That'd be so sick. But yeah, not gonna happen. Producer Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau, of course. Writer-director Dave Filoni. And then we have, of course, the cast. Now, the cast for the Ahsoka show listed here is Rosario Dawson, of course, Hayden Christensen, the man himself, what a legend. And then we have Natasha Liu Bordizzo, the female actress who is going to be playing, that's right, none other than Ezra Bridger's best friend, Sabine Wren. I can't wait to see Natasha Liu Bordizzo. She's going to be lit. And then, of course, Ivana Saknow, the character that we've heard that is going to be a new character. Looks pretty dope. All right, on to the next bit here. It says that the Ahsoka show is a Star Wars spin-off series set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. Ahsoka Tano is a Togruta female who is the Padawan learner of Anakin Skywalker and a hero of the Clone Wars. Alongside Anakin, she grew from headstrong student into a mature leader, but her destiny laid along a different path than the Jedi. Ahsoka is on the hunt for the evil Grand Admiral Thrawn in the hope it will help her locate the missing Ezra Bridger, the young Jedi that disappeared with Thrawn many years ago. Season 3 of The Mandalorian wraps March 23rd, 2022. Dang, that's pretty interesting news there. So, status is January 2022. So that could potentially mean that Ahsoka is filming at the same time as The Mandalorian. I know that was a really small kind of tidbit that I threw in there at the end, but it says here that the season 3 of The Mandalorian will wrap filming at March 23rd of 2022, which was when we had actually heard that the Ahsoka show was going to begin filming. But it says here the status for the Ahsoka show is January of 2022, so it's possible both shows could be filming congruently, and that would make a lot of sense, as I have a big feeling season 3 of The Mandalorian is going to lead directly into Ahsoka. We're going to have probably a lot of stuff between Ahsoka, maybe even Luke Skywalker, and Mandalorian, of course. So I can't wait for it. Ahsoka has long been my most anticipated and hyped show, even more so than Kenobi. I know that's crazy to say, but that's just how it is, man. Reading that especially, I'm super hyped for Ahsoka. I can't wait for them to start filming it and for it to come out probably the beginning of 2023. Especially after seeing this and everything, knowing that they might be filming congruently, I'm really hopeful right now that The Mandalorian Season 3 comes out at the end of this year, around that December time frame, same as Book of Boba Fett did this past year. And then we're going to get Ahsoka show probably right after that, having all of this content from Star Wars basically back to back. Oh man, it's gonna be good. I can't wait. Star Wars MCU says, yeah, after Return of the Jedi, nothing for years. Yeah, those were the dark times. The dark times, my friend. I wasn't even alive yet, but I bet it wasn't fun. I remember after Revenge of the Sith, those were dark times too. I didn't think we were getting any more Star Wars content. And then I remember as a kid just watching the Clone Wars and being happy to have Star Wars content. And now it's like, we just want all of it. We want it all because we can have it all now, man. And that's the cool thing. Like, as much as many fans don't really like Disney or some of the things that Disney has done, man, we wouldn't have new Star Wars if it weren't for them. So I love it, man. I'm here to stay. Star Wars is just the greatest, man. It's the greatest. HOAMC president says, agreed. Season 3 of Mando leads straight into Ahsoka. Beskar times indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. Tim says, I don't think we're getting Mando this year. It's possible we won't. I'm going to be straight up with you. If we do, I honestly, my thought has been it's going to be kind of similar to the Book of Boba, where we get it probably within the last week of December, where it's literally the end of the year. It would probably most likely really be a 2023 show, just like Boba Fett is really more of a 2022 show. So I agree with you, Tim. You're not wrong. He said, we already got Boba, Kenobi, and Andor. I think Mando Season 3 is 2023. Yeah, and you forgot Bad Batch too. And the crazy thing about Bad Batch, 16 episodes, that's 4 months. 4 months. A year is 12, so that's literally like a quarter of the year where we're going to be getting Bad Batch content. And while Kenobi might overlap with it, and that's honestly the biggest thing to me, is the fact that Kenobi overlaps with Bad Batch apparently, or at least, you know, they're saying it could. The fact that that's a possibility makes me hopeful that Mando could still potentially come out right at the end of the year. But I don't think we're getting more than an episode or two if we do. Ducky Momo says, maybe after Bad Batch Season 2 is done, then Omega can land in live action. Yeah, I think so too, Ducky, and that is probably how they're going to do it. I imagine, honestly, with all this Boba Fett stuff coming out, I kind of almost want to make a video about this, but with all this Boba Fett stuff coming out right now, and then Bad Batch being set to release in spring of 2022, that's likely like right around the corner, that, you know, May kind of time frame. So I think it's possible Boba Fett is a big part of Season 2 of the Bad Batch, let alone you know, Omega coming to live action. So I think we're gonna get them potentially even meeting each other or being referenced in Bad Batch, you know, if it doesn't actually happen at the end of the Book of Boba. And then in the Bad Batch, you know, it's going to give us some more of Boba Fett's character. And then we're going to see Omega again in a, you know, potentially a Season 2 of Book of Boba Fett brought into live action. I can't wait to see who would be playing her and how that would work, because it would be pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't mention Bad Batch because they might overlap. For sure, Tim. Fair enough. Reefer Man says, Kenobi Batch crossover! Kenobi will show up in Bad Batch, but live action. He will be only live action person on Bad Batch. No, that'd be cool. That'd be cool, Reefer Man. Yeah, that could make sense just because Bad Batch does take place right as the Empire is rising. Personally, I don't think, maybe they could go to Tatooine and see him there, and that'd be freaking cool. It would be a younger Kenobi, so it'd be interesting to see him. He probably wouldn't be very trusting, but also like very wise old man. So I mean, at that point, he's not even old. The son's only barely starting to touch him. Ducky Momo says, Omega eating Mantelmex, befriending Roland Durant. It's a perfect fit for Book of Boba season 2. Yeah, you're definitely right. I could definitely see like Roland being like a thing in Book of Boba season 2 still, and Omega's like his right hand girl kind of thing, and she's just chilling there with a gun, eating her Mantelmex. Like, sup, Alpha? I've been waiting for you. That'd be cool. Ducky Momo says, like, who framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah. Tim says, I've been saying it's possible they double up episodes and overlap because that's exactly how they did it with Clone Wars and Mando when Disney Plus launched internationally. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, being in the US, I wouldn't have known as everything is released year first kind of thing, but of course except for Spider-Man, but Ghost Fighter, I think that's how you say it. Ghost Fixter. I don't know. Ghost Fixter, I think, says Kenobi and Ahsoka are my 2 most hyped shows I'm waiting for. Dude, me too, Ghost Fixer. I think they're both going to knock it out of the park. I can't wait for those shows. Kenobi, both of them were supposed to be getting Hayden Christensen back, which right off the bat, Anakin is my favorite character. Whether it's a Force Ghost in Ahsoka or... which it most likely will be, and then seeing him as Darth Vader and Kenobi meant like it's gonna be freaking fantastic. If you're still subscribed at that point, man, you're gonna see Sheev cry because it's gonna be too hype. It's gonna be too hype, and I won't be able to handle it. Hey, don't worry about it, Darth Chaos. I can't believe you here, my dude. Good to see you, my guy. Much love. Alright, so the last little bits of news that I do want to kind of talk about with you guys, I'll bring up this Twitter thing real quick. So there's actually some Star Wars gaming news, like since when, right? Because Star Wars games never have news anymore, but there's actually some pretty big Star Wars gaming news. And Tom Henderson, who apparently is working within the kind of not TT, but with Respawn Games and whatnot, says things are set in motion to reveal the next Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game by Respawn Entertainment. Following today's announcement that LEGO Star Wars will release April 5th, a May 4th reveal now seems incredibly likely. Expected to release Q4 of 2022. So I think we had already kind of heard a little bit about this, but it says here that, and I did want to kind of get into the LEGO Star Wars news as well, but it says here that basically we can expect some news for the Jedi Fallen Order 2 game on May 4th, and we can expect the game in the Q4 of 2022. Now, that won't mean the back half of the year, as I know a lot of people kind of think that, but the Q4 is actually kind of more that, just after May, middle and October-ish kind of time of year, I think, actually. So it's more like the October, September-ish kind of time frame of the year. And I think that would be amazing if we get Jedi Fallen Order 2 here. I want to be able to get a capture card and actually, stream some of me playing Jedi Fallen Order 1 leading into 2. And then, of course, when 2 comes out, I want to be able to stream it with you guys because I think that could be a lot of fun. Those games are amazing. I can't wait for the second one. And I think it's going to add a lot more to the lore of Star Wars. And it's going to be really interesting to see where his story goes. I can't wait to see it, though. It's going to be hyped. Okay, so for LEGO Star Wars, there was some big news today as well. And there's a big old Polygon article here that I don't know how much I want to get into because this thing is long. It talks about how, why LEGO Star Wars took so long to make, what kind of went down during this process, and how big the game is, because this is actually a super ambitious LEGO game. If I'm being honest, I think it's going to be incredible. I've made a lot of jokes on the channel about this potentially never even coming out. It's taken so long, but I don't know if you guys have actually seen some of the footage of the gameplay and what this game is supposed to be, but oh my god, this LEGO Star Wars game is set to be one of the best Star Wars games we've ever had, and easily the best Lego game that there's ever been. I know some people maybe don't even play the Lego games anymore. I know a lot of Star Wars fans love the Lego games though. But this game looks incredible. I can't wait for the news. I mean, if you guys want me to go into a little bit of this Polygon article, I'll try and pick out some of the best little sections. But I mean, it talks about what the workers kind of went through during the pandemic and everything. They're trying to build a Lego empire for this game, as it is likely going to be the last Lego Star Wars game we get. So they're really trying to go all out with this thing. It's supposed to be kind of like an open world Lego Star Wars game. How crazy is that? It goes into talking about how they had low morale during COVID, and with it taking so long. I mean, this game was announced almost 3 years ago at this point. Literally, it'll be 3 years basically in May. So 3 years that this game has been working on, and I can't wait for it, man. April 5th. At this point, I think I'm gonna just purchase it. I gotta stream this game too, right? Like, how freaking cool is this? It has unreal expectations at this point. I mean, it's gonna be lit, man. I promise you guys, this Lego Star Wars game is gonna be crazy. Real quick, I'm gonna get in the chat here. X-Wing says, crazy thought. That Nutter Butter trailer we saw with the Sith jumping from the TIE to the X-Wing was actually the new Ubisoft open world game. Dang, X-Wing, that would be crazy, except for the fact we kind of heard it's fake already. I know not everybody likes him, but Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter already confirmed it was fake, and there's a lot of indications out there that it's fake as well. It is a very well made is a very well made fake, but it's not real, unfortunately. It would be dope though, and I can't wait to see that Ubisoft open world game, but it's probably gonna be another couple years until we actually get any kind of footage for it, you know. It's gonna be lit though. It's gonna be lit. I feel like this Lego Star Wars game is like a open world light for the open world Star Wars game I'm hoping we get. I hope Jedi Fallen Order is for PS4. Kylie, it should be for PS4 and 5, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think it will be. Love the Lego games. Hey, yeah, Carnival Defect, they're freaking lit. The Lego games are lit, and this one is going to be incredible. I don't know if you've seen much of the footage, Carnival Defect, but it's top tier. Hey, Joey Ebbs, thanks for joining the Discord. Real quick, I do want to plug it one more time. We're going to be doing a Funko Pop giveaway, so if you want a chance at winning one of 5 Bad Batch Funko Pops or a Boba Fett Funko, make sure you're joined to the Discord in the link in the description below, and you'll have a chance at winning one of those Funkos. Kevin0326 says, just getting here. What are you saying is fake? Knights of Ren trailer? Yes, the Knights of Ren trailer unfortunately is fake. There's been multiple people that have kind of confirmed it already, and I don't think it's real. It looks really cool. It does look really cool, but I mean, think about it realistically. It doesn't really make sense. The video itself doesn't really make sense. First of all, the awesome gameplay footage that we see is being filmed on probably a flip phone. That's kind of what it looks like, the quality of the images. And I mean, where would there be a giant screen where that's kind of being shown and someone's recording on a flip phone like that? None of it really adds up to me in the first place, let alone the fact that we've had people that are big in the literally like, you know, people that are at the top tier levels of Lucasfilm coming on Twitter and saying it's fake already. So I don't think it's real. I have no really belief. There's nothing to indicate to me that it is real. It's freaking cool, and I do want stuff like that. I want cool dang Star Wars content, but yeah, exactly, Kevin. Nothing adds up. Yeah, he says we wouldn't have heard something, and Kevin, you're 100% right. We would have heard at least something. You know, the people that do scoops, of course, they don't get everything right, including myself. For sure, myself. I've definitely gotten things wrong plenty of times here, but I mean, to be honest, like, the people that do scoops, like, they do a good enough job where this wouldn't have fallen through the cracks, and we, like, to the point where we wouldn't have heard anything at all. Like, even with Book of Boba Fett being kind of announced in the finale of Mando season 2, where we really had no indication that that was going to be a thing until we saw the post-credit scene. Even stuff like that, there was kind of rumors out there that that was a thing. People in the scooping kind of community had heard that there was going to be a Book of Boba Fett show, or, you know, a Boba Fett show at that time period, even though there was no official announcement. So, like, even though, like, there's a lot of stuff that they do get wrong, like, stuff like this probably wouldn't go through the cracks. MK Matt says, yo, recently rewatched Rebels. I realized that it has so many similarities with the original trilogy. Same small family, friends, taking on the Empire vibe, similar type of humor. And then he said, really love the series. MK Matt, I freaking love Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels is probably my favorite piece of Star Wars content. And I know what you mean, man. It's fantastic. It captures the vibes of the original trilogy almost perfectly, and even expands upon it, giving us vibes from the prequels as well, with the Master and Apprentice feel that we get with Kanan and Ezra, and a lot of the Jedi centric kind of stuff in it. And it's just the thing about Star Wars Rebels is a beautiful combination of a new story mixed with the prequels, the original trilogy, and even a little bit of the sequels here and there. So it's a perfect blend of Star Wars, and one of the best television stories I've ever witnessed in my life. I can't wait for the Ahsoka series just to get more of these characters and to see Ezra and Hera and Sabine and all the Ghost crew again. It's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait for the Ahsoka show. X-Wing says, in your Discord now, may the Force have mercy on your soul. Oh no! Hey, big shout out to X-Wing. If you guys don't know who X-Wing is, he runs an awesome Star Wars YouTube channel with an awesome community of people. So go check out X-Wing, go follow and subscribe to his channel. And while you're at it, subscribe to Vader's Lair if you haven't already. HOMC says, only criticism of Star Wars Rebels, the lightsabers being so thin. No, trust me, I've heard all the criticisms of Star Wars Rebels. I mean, dude, I am a special case. I've seen Star Wars Rebels at least 7 times at this point. It is a dang show. If you can get past the artistic stuff, if you're not into the art style, which for me, I've always loved Star Wars Rebels, like, regardless of the art style. Like, as a kid growing up watching the Clone Wars, the early Clone Wars art was awful. It was disgusting. I mean, go watch the Clone Wars movie, and there's some scenes that make me want to claw my eyes out, if I'm being for real. But yeah, I know a lot of people were... I never really had an issue with the tiny sabers. I thought it was weird, but I know what it's from. It was based on the concept art of Ralph McQuarrie, and I knew that was really the art style that they were trying to emulate. And while I don't think it's as good as an art style as what the Clone Wars turned out to be, and of course the Bad Batch is gorgeous. Oh my god, I love that, the animation for Bad Batch. But I love the story of Rebels, and if you can get past whatever kind of artwork gripes you've had, and if you've never seen the show, go watch it, man. I encourage you, please go watch Star Wars Rebels. Just give it a good enough chance. At least, not even 5 episodes in, I promise you'll likely be hooked, or at least have enough interest to kind of drag you through the rest of the first season. And if you're not a big fan of the first season, personally, I still love it. I know a lot of fans aren't as big of fans of season 1, but get through season 1, and seasons 2, 3, and 4 are some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen in my life. Joey Ebb says, I used to Google Rebels episodes back in the day before I had Disney XD in my cable package. Grainy internet vids, but I got my fix. Not all right. So Joey Ebbs, I used to do the same kind of thing, and I'll tell you this. I remember. I'm such a freaking huge Star Wars fan that I am. I remember watching Disney XD the night that it came out, and I watched the premiere of Rebels, and I watched the second episode live on TV, and I remember seeing it, and it was like good enough first episode. I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. And episode 2, I just felt like it was really kiddie at the time, and I was like 13, 14 years old. So like I was still kiddie too. So I didn't even get into it at first. So I liked the first episode. I didn't stick with it though, in the fact that it was coming out on Disney XD. I just couldn't watch it live every time. And so I was trying to find a way to do it. I would watch it kind of like you did, but I waited for the entire first season to come out, and then I kind of heard on the internet, oh my god, spoiler alert, sorry for you that somehow haven't seen Rebels yet, Ahsoka was at the end of the first season. Oh my god, it was awesome, right? And so season 2 goes by, and we hear that Ahsoka and Vader fought, and it's like, oh my goodness, I gotta watch this show. And it wasn't until the Twin Sons episode came out that I was like, what am I missing? Why am I not watching this? So as soon as Twin Sons came out, I literally binged the first 3 seasons, got up to that Twin Sons episode. That episode is freaking phenomenal. It's one of the best Star Wars things ever made. And then of course when season 4 came out, I let all the episodes kind of drop, and I binged watched the entire season as it was dropping. The last couple episodes were dropping, and then the last 3 episodes of Rebels I watched as they came out, and it was the most rewarding, awesome experience ever. I love that show. I have such a deep connection. Sorry for that little tangent, but the Star Wars Rebels, man, what a fantastic show. I love it. MK Matt says, dude, I completely agree. This was like my 5th time watching Rebels. The story and characters are just so epic. The animation prevented me from watching it at first. Seriously, it's amazing. Yeah, no, definitely, I know exactly what you mean. I think a lot of fans have a similar feeling with it. HOAMC says, the Clone Wars movie was terrible. Just rewatched recently. Only reason why I'm critical of the lightsabers on Rebels is because I love consistency, but do love Rebels. No, yeah, I get you. I mean, the artwork on Rebels was definitely inconsistent. Have you seen Anakin? Have you seen Yoda? Ooh, talk about stuff that makes me want to rip my eyes out. Whew. Yeah, those are the only gripes I have with Rebels. Otherwise, it's a freaking masterpiece. Tim says, Rebels definitely has some of the best Star Wars moments. Watched all of Rebels before Mando Season 2 came out because of Ahsoka. Hey, dude, I wish I could get people to watch Rebels. It's impossible. I literally have gotten only my cousin to watch all of Rebels, and no one else will really even give it a good shot. I mean, my girlfriend and my brother have watched probably most of season 1, but like it's hard to get people to watch all of it, man. Darth Chaos says Rebels was awesome, dude. Hell yeah. X-Wing says, don't apologize for simping for good Star Wars. Never that. Joey Ebb says, nah, man. Hey, of course. Nah, you right. Of course, that's why you're here. Joey Ebb says, I was 29 to 30 when I was getting into it. Hey, that's what's up, dude. For me, when I really got into Rebels, it was an interesting time in my life where I don't think I was as hopeful as a person as I am. Like, generally throughout, I think most of my life, I consider myself to be a very upbeat and optimistic person. But definitely going through Rebels, I was trying to like really find myself in that time period in my life. And especially towards the like later half of the show, the last like season, as Ezra, you know, the story is truly about hope. And even though Ezra and Kanan, like, you know, they're these 2 Jedi that it's literally the 2 of them versus the entire Empire during this time, and it seems hopeless that they could end up winning. But the whole thing the reason Hera is such a crucial character to the show is the fact that, you know, they have to have hope to be able to win. Otherwise, like, without hope, like, how do you expect anything to get better? So that's all I'm saying. That's my kind of true connection with Rebels, and a little bit into the mind of Sheev. HOAMC says, in Filoni we trust, and oh yes, in Dave and in John we trust indeed. Masma says, I have problems getting through Rebels. I may try again. I hope you do. if you go through it, Moss, the only words of advice I'll have, just have an open mind. Understand that it is generally directed towards children, so it's something that you really can kind of throw on in the background and just have a good time with. But at the same time, there are moments where it does get serious and the story is very, very deep. And if you can get through the lighthearted moments and just have fun with it, I think you'll really, really enjoy the show. And Robert Rodriguez, we don't trust, says Tim. Hey, Moss, hope you're well. It's good to see you here. Steve Sorenka says, that's cool, Sheev. Respect. Hey, much love to you, Steve. Ducky says, you're getting it, Kylie. That's called the Ahsoka. Yeah, Kylie says, I want a season 5 of Rebels now. I've been wanting a Rebels animated sequel for forever, and at some point I kind of just gave up on that hope and realized that the Rebels sequel we all want and deserve is called Ahsoka. And that's why I want the Ahsoka show now. Joey Epps says, all filler and no killer so far. No, I know. No, Robert Rodriguez is a lot of fun. I will say the Vespa speeder dudes were pretty funny. Like, to me, it is just that was probably the most interesting choice of the Book of Boba Fett so far. But it's a lot of fun, man. X-Wing says 16 people here and only 15 likes. Force choke that like button before I slay you like younglings. Do it. Do it. Darth Chaos says, I trust the trio so far. Nah, dude, I'm fully trusted. I never wasn't trusted, man. Trust me, bro. I've been full trust of Filoni and Favreau, though. And Robert Rodriguez, I think, sometimes you got to build up trust. But as soon as Robert Rodriguez directed that episode of The Mandalorian where Boba Fett made his triumphant return, I just said, here's all of my respect and all of my trust, Robert. Take it and take care of it, please. And he said, all right, I'm gonna, almost drop it at some point in the Book of Boba Fett, but don't worry, I got this. Do it. Like smashed, my bad. Hey, Joey Ebbs, now you're excused. If you didn't, I would have had to do it to you, but now you're excused. It's all good. Dude, trust me, bro, says Rebels, aka Ahsoka Part 2. What? Rebels Part 2, aka Ahsoka. I think that might be what you meant to say. Ducky Momo says, hey, if you're going to drop weekly episodes, then you have to deal with nitpicking. Otherwise, drop it all at once so I don't have so much free time on my hands. Hey, Ducky Momo, now you're thinking like Sheev. Lucasfilm, Disney, John, Dave, if you guys are watching, do it. You must drop Kenobi all at once. Do it. Do not fail me again, Lucasfilm, or you shall suffer the consequences. Hey, much love, X-Wing. That was a good one. HOAMC says, Rangers of the New Republic could be shelved? Shelved and then reworked until we get Star Wars Rebels 2.5 after they're in Ahsoka. Yeah, I don't think we're getting Rangers of the New Republic, just based on some of the stuff that Kathy has said recently. But I think it'll be reworked into other stuff though. Like, they're gonna take what was going to be Rangers of the New Republic and put it into this, and that. Like, we had kind of heard actually a rumor that there was going to be a Bo-Katan show recently. And while I'm not sure that will happen exactly, I do think that the kind of mindset is kind of there as well. As like, Bo-Katan was rumored to be in Rangers of the New Republic, but it's very possible she's going to be a central character in Mandalorian season 3, even Ahsoka, and then who knows if they'll just integrate the storylines from Rangers into those shows, or if potentially there could be a Bo-Katan kind of show, or a different show that is based on what we were gonna get in Rangers of the New Republic. Joey Ebb says, what I didn't get is why in Book of Boba is why Boba is such a badass in Mando, but chilling in his own show. No, I get you. He gets the armor back, and I think honestly a big part of why he's been getting his butt whooped in this show so far, we haven't really seen him fighting in the present day. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but like obviously a lot of people are complaining about how much flashbacks we've had so far, and it makes sense to this point why we've had all the flashbacks, as they're kind of covering the story, getting us caught up to this point, understanding the character of Boba better. But then, like, alongside with that, we've barely seen him do anything really in the present day, and the small amounts of present day that we've had. The one time we really saw him fight in the present day was when he got ambushed without his helmet on. And of course he could have flown out and, like, you know, he had to worry about Fennec Shand or whatever you want to say, but I mean, he hasn't really done anything in the present yet. So I expect these last 3 episodes we're gonna see him do a lot of that. We're gonna see do a lot of that. And while people are being like, he's such a bum in this one, that was kind of him after the Sarlacc without his armor, for the most part of him fighting, I'd say. Of course, he did get his butt whooped multiple times in this show, and I think it's part of character development, but he definitely got his butt whooped. But we're going to see him be quite the badass. I think we're going to definitely get more of the Mando episode vibes in these last 3 episodes. It's going to be lit, though. Boba Fett? Oh my god. Ducky Momo says, poor Sheev, we should all pitch in and get you some what? Bifocals when your birthday rolls around? Help you read that chat. Nah, I can't read I can't read shit. The chat is so tiny on my big old screen. X-Wing says, I've been enjoying the show, but Boba is kind of yeah, he is kind of a bitch right now. Joey Ebb says, yeah, because he was wearing his robe. He got ambushed twice in the present day, and that's the only thing we've seen. Apparently Sabine Wren is going to be in Ahsoka, says Matthew Cruz. Yes, Matthew Cruz, we actually have a casting for Sabine Wren if you're interested. The actress is going to be Natasha Liu Bordizzo. I know that's kind of a mouthful, even for me. But yeah, I think that's what we can expect. Steve Starenka says, I'm out, going to rewatch episode 4 again. Catch y'all soon. Hey, Steve, much love, brother. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Dude, trust me, bro, says Sabine better be in it. Shit. Oh, dude, for real. What I'm really hoping is that, like, Ahsoka isn't just a setup for, like, a Rebels sequel. I want, you know, it better be the Rebels sequel, you know. We better not just have, like, Ezra at the end of the season, like they finally find him the last episode. I'm gonna be like, I also have heard, I think Ahsoka is a limited series too, so it's likely only going to be 1 season. So sad. Which, I mean, that could mean that it is a setup for a Rebels sequel, but I hope not, man. I hope not. What did Exit? Nah, he won't be a bitch for long. But that's the bulk of the news. I'm glad that we covered most of it. We kind of talked about today, just to kind of recap, Din Djarin potentially being in the Book of Boba. I think we could see him as soon as this next episode. It's going to be freaking dope if we do. There's a lot of release date kind of stuff going on right now. In terms of the Bad Batch recently, actually has been confirmed to be coming out in spring of 2022. So that might actually be the next project that we get. What it means for Kenobi is that there might be some overlap with Kenobi, and we can kind of still expect Kenobi to be May 4th. In terms of other kind of news, there was a Ahsoka released kind of thing talking about when it's going to be shooting, and that the Mandalorian season 3 is going to be finishing filming around March of 2022, and that Ahsoka apparently could be overlapped filming with it, as it would make a lot of sense, as the two shows are tightly knitted together. So a lot of stuff going on with that, and of course we got the gaming news with Jedi Fallen Order 2 potentially coming out in the fourth quarter of 2022, and of course April 5th being the release date for the giant Lego Star Wars game that I cannot wait for. It's a lot of good stuff coming in 2022. We got Bad Batch, Kenobi, Andor, the rest of Book of Boba, potentially Mandalorian Season 3. Make sure you're subscribed because dang, there's going to be a whole ton of Star Wars content that we're going to be talking about all year. So if you want to hang out, talk about some Star Wars with some cool nerdy fans, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord. You'll have a chance of winning one of 5 Bad Batch Funkos. Thank y'all for being here. I hope you guys are having a good day. Any last thoughts before we get on out of here? Let me know in the chat. X-Wing says, how did you feel about Slave 1 flipping upside down and sticking its cockpit in the Sarlacc? First of all, I thought it was kind of cool. And I thought that it was cool that they were protected as well by the glass. But it was such a dope scene, though. I loved seeing the seismic charge blow him up. And when when she like pushed the button, I'm like, what the heck? Oh my god, the seismic charge! Such a cool scene. Tim says, I had a lot of faith so far, and I hope they won't let me down. I want to see Boba doing his angry face and kicking ass now. Man, that Tamura Morrison angry face is it's gonna go down in history. I'll tell you that. Moss says, I'm liking Book of Boba. I like the character development it does for the flaws, but it does have flaws for sure. No, yeah, it does. I'm not at all saying this is a perfect show. By no means am I saying that. But I'm having fun with it in the same kind of aspect where I can sit back and enjoy the kiddie moments of like a show of Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars Clone Wars. There's going to be, Star Wars fun moments in Book of Boba, and just some moments that are taken less serious, like a Bantha. You know what I'm saying? For sure, it was just the tip. It was. Need to see Sheev, Star Wars Meg, etc. playing Star Wars Lego Skywalker Saga together. Ooh, if we can do that, HOAMC, I would love to. I don't know how it'd work with me being on the opposite side of the planet Earth. But if we can pull that off, I would love to do that. Star Wars Meg is an absolute G. I would love to have her on the channel more in any type of capacity. I mean, I know X-Wing in the chat here is the master of having people on the channel, so I'll have to talk to him a little bit, but I got to figure out the green screen and everything, get my setup a little better, and I want to bring on Star Wars Santa more. I want to bring on X-Wing. I want to bring on Meg. I want to have a whole bunch of more people on the channel to talk stuff, and especially like I'm almost done with the Thrawn Ascendancy books. Like Star Wars Santa was doing a kind of review for those kind of things. I want to talk about the Star Wars Ascendancy books. I want to talk about some of the High Republic, even though I'm just like a so-so fan of it. I think High Republic, similar to Book of Boba, it's good, but there's a lot of room for growth, even more so than the Book of Boba has. So I more room for growth there, you know what I'm saying? Because Book of Boba's way better than the High Republic. But I mean, it's all good though. Again, Star Wars 2022 is a big year. I can't wait to see what we're gonna get. And man, these last couple episodes of the Book of Boba, they're about to be fire. So make sure that you're subscribed, join the Discord to have a chance at winning one of 5 Bad Batch Funko Pops, especially since season 2 of the Bad Batch is right around the corner. And then make sure to smash the like button on this stream if you enjoyed yourself. I hope you guys had a great time tonight, and may the Force be with you. Have a great one. The left coasters are the best, ducky. Hey, thanks to the East Coasters for being here. Much love to y'all. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for staying to the end if you did. Much love, Simpires. I'll see y'all in the Discord. Have a good one. May the Force be with you.